Hey everybody, it is Friday, July the 8th, 2022. How is everyone doing this evening? I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend and week. How are you, Marianne? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you everybody for tuning in to What the Frick Live, 9 p.m. every Friday here on RU Media Network. Laura Pill's already signed on. Love you, Laura. Hope you had a good 4th of July. Did you do anything fun?
I just hung out at home. We kind of had a chill 4th of July. We did take Mark's daughter to see some fireworks, but that's about it. And we ate. We ate a lot. So no
fish or what is it?
Vegetables from our garden this time. Corn, tomatoes, fried squash.
I should have came down and visit you for 4th of July. I kind of stayed in a little bit, and then I went I did spend time with family. So it was a good 4th of July for the first time since COVID and all that. So, which they did fireworks last year here in my town, but I had my son last year and I went all out. I think I spent almost $400 in fireworks.
Wow.
And I have never let off fireworks before. So I was acting all cool. Like I was the cool mom. And then the grand finale I had, which it was kind of big. It was like this. And it had like 40 little things that I thought it was like fountain, like little, didn't go very far. So I lit that sucker last year and each one went up in the air like boom, boom, boom for the finale. Jed thought it was the coolest thing ever. So, I didn't buy fireworks or anything this year. So I saved money. I didn't burn my money up. That's what my dad tells me.
That's good.
Have you ever had any firework accidents or anything growing up?
No, thank goodness. And I do not trust myself to play with them or light them. I would not go near them because I am the queen of clumsy and I would probably do something stupid. Just saying.
Laura Phil says my family had a banging 4th. So I don't
literally,
know.
Laura?
Yeah, literally bang. There was one where I'm going to introduce our guest tonight because he's awesome. He's one of my friends. But there was one accident that I witnessed with 4th of July. And it was with my family when I was young. And it was at my grandmother's house. And it's on my dad's side. They had 11 brothers and sisters. Or my dad has 11 brothers and sisters. So a couple of his brothers were down, like the yard was kind of slanted that went down and they were lighting off these big fireworks at the end. Well, my uncle Jerry was up on the deck, like it's really super far away. Well, they let off a firework and that shot up towards the house and it hit my uncle Jerry in the throat and it went down his shirt and out his shirt. And like he had to be I've never seen anything like that before. And I think I was 6 or 7. I was really super young. And it made me scared of fireworks for a long time. But
wow.
That was just a once in a lifetime thing, I think. But he had some burns, down his chest and everything. So I hope everyone had a safe 4th of July. Hope nobody got injured. I posted some funny stuff I saw on TikTok that happened and everything. But it feels good to finally celebrate it again. I think most everyone did this year. So, but I have a really super special guest on tonight. He's one of my dear friends. Love him very much. He's super talented in many ways. We're going to learn about a lot of murder and mystery this evening. He has founded this company, Murder and Merriment. He has over 40 years. I don't want to say, I say over 30 years. That makes me sound a lot younger. He hasn't aged anyway. I have a video. He doesn't know about this. I want to play tonight. It's at least, I think, 10 or 12 years old. I did not tell him this, but we have Mr. George R. Snider III, Murder and Merriment, coming on. I'm bringing him on right now. He should have a countdown. And he is you are absolutely amazing, George.
Video. Oh my gosh.
I do.
I'm so excited. I've been like counting down the hours, the days, the weeks to have the privilege to be on a podcast. This is like super excited. I'm like a podcast virgin, so I'm just like super excited.
we
you have taken my virginity, Emily and Marianne.
Popping your cherry, George. I have Jack and Cherry Coke. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thank you for being a guest on tonight. You are super talented. We're going to get into some of this stuff because you do murder mysteries, and you're one of you say the second. I'm going to say the biggest because you're the only murder mystery company that I've ever heard of on this side of the Mississippi.
There you go. Perfect.
You actually write out everything. You don't get it from some site or somebody else, and then you get all the actors. You put it. There's a lot of work behind it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but you are absolutely amazing and talented, and you also sing. And I got a video on that. And you haven't aged a bit. I have a video I want to show in a little bit. I introduce you, and then I usually let Marianne start off with some questions if she has anything to ask you or anything like that. But I'm sitting here. I have a whole lineup. This is staging. So I don't know if we'll get to everything, but you also do haunted locations, which not like a haunted event. You just do the murder mysteries there.
We had a mystery that ended up becoming a haunted event.
Okay, we're going to talk about that.
It was super cool.
If you are an owner of a haunted location, I'm coughing right now, Adam Kimmel or Trans Allegheny, y'all need to watch this. You need to call George. But Marianne, you have anything that you want to ask George to start off for this evening? Or wow, I'm going to share this out for a minute.
Okay. I mean, I have plenty of questions. I just don't know where to begin.
Okay. Wherever you want to.
Learning about more about what you do, for sure.
Okay. So 12 years ago, September of 2010, I was approached by a group of shop owners down at Heritage Station in Huntington, West Virginia. And they said, Pullman Square is coming into Huntington. We're afraid they're going to steal all our business. People are going to forget about us. Now, Heritage Station used to be the old B&O train station in Huntington, and close to the spot where the 1875 bank robbery of that Frank James of the Jesse James gang came in. He and the three other guys robbed the Huntington Bank many years ago. But so they said, George, please do some entertainment for guests. They can come here and we can let people know that we've got stuff going on here. So I was thinking, okay, what do I do? And I was thinking, you gotta do something different. Just like you and Emily are doing, you're doing something different. Not everybody has a paranormal broadcast or podcast. And to be a success in business, you have to be different than everybody else. You can't just do what 1,000 other people are doing or 10,000 other people are doing. Because if you're unique, if you're different, you're offering a unique product, people are going to come, people are going to spend money, people are going to buy, and they're going to be entertained or receive the benefits of what you do. And so I was thinking, what could I do? So I remembered years before then, there used to be a boxed game called How to Host a Murder. And you could buy it at the bookstore back when bookstores, Borders bookstores and all that stuff used to be big. And so I bought one of those games, and it was one of those things where you had 4 girls, 4 guys, and you could assign parts to your friends, send them out in the mail, and they would arrive at your house dressed in costume and stay in character for 2 hours, and you could serve drinks, dinner, appetizers, whatever you wanted to do. And it would be played out in 4 or 5 rounds, and one of the people would find out midway that they were the murderer. And then the guests, everybody else had to solve it. And so it was very, very popular.
What was it called again?
How to Host a Murder.
How to Host a Murder.
You could actually go probably on like eBay and find these old games that they used to have. But so my friends were like, oh my God, this was like a blast. This was like so much fun. And so several months later, I did another one, and then I did another one. And my friend's like, okay, we're going to host the next one. And so they hosted one. And so for like 3 or 4 years, we did like 10 murder mysteries. And they were so much fun. And we performed all over the place. But it was just for ourselves.
Was this it?
There it is, right there. Yes.
How to Host a Murder.
And so I thought, I could do this. And being a playwright, being a screenwriter myself, I knew what the formula was, and I thought I could do this. I could, put together my own murder mystery. And so I pitched the idea to Heritage Station. They were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so I wrote the first murder mystery, which was Murder at the Opera, and they sold out like in a few days. And so they asked for another weekend, and they sold that out. And so they were so happy with it that they booked us for another quarter's worth of shows, and then another 2 quarters worth of shows. And so like 2 or 3 years, we did murder mysteries there initially. In our very first year, we did 4 shows. And at that time, I had no clue whatsoever where we would go as a company, how big we would get. I just had no concept. And so the first year, 4 shows. The second year, we ended up doing 8 shows. We got a couple private parties. The third year, we got a restaurant up in Tates Valley, West Virginia, that booked us every month for a show. We started branching out and doing state parks and other venues. And then it just exploded. So by the 6th year, I knew I was going to expand. And so I wanted to open up into another market, and I was either going to go east into Roanoke, Charlottesville area, or I was going to go west.
That's a
but or I was going to go.
But I'm sure each location you're going to mention, I'm like, oh, that's going to be good.
So I picked Lexington, Kentucky, because we had not gone. We really hadn't gone past Carter Caves, and so I chose Lexington because there's a 275,000 people in the market area, and so auditioned some folks, interviewed some folks, and we got our first show December 31st at the Kentucky Castle in 2017. Right, and we had a blast doing the show there, and business started taking off. And so then a couple years later, I opened the Cincinnati, Ohio company, and they started off doing well. And then COVID came and shut just about everything down. But we ended up.
If no one knows, we do have a castle. I don't know if it's haunted or not. George might be able to tell us a little bit about it.
Not really.
I will tell you.
There it is. That's really beautiful. It is truly beautiful. We perform there every week at the Kentucky Castle. So we have grown 12 years.
Laura's 10 minutes from there. Laura, you need to get a ticket to Murder and Merriment.
Yes.
Go.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so much fun, and it's a gorgeous venue. So we now have 4 companies. We've grown so much. We're the 2nd largest murder mystery theater company east of the Mississippi River.
I don't believe it. I think you're the first.
Well, there was a company that started 10 years before us, and they're out of Michigan, and so they have more states and locations than we do. But we have 58 different murder mysteries that I've written and put together, and they're not copied. I don't steal ideas from other people. But we've got about 200 actors in our company, and we can do just about any show that our clients want us to do. So they're so much fun. They're as interactive as the guests want to be, and they're all different kinds of themes for the shows. There's, if you look at the name of our company, Murder and Merriment, we obviously, people are trying to solve a murder mystery, but we have fun in the midst of doing it. And so there is some comedy in a lot of our shows. We have a few musical murder mysteries. We have some paranormal murder mysteries. So we can do.
I was going to do one.
And it's what's really cool is that the Greenbrier Resort in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, called me a couple weeks ago, and they said, we have a client coming in, and they want to do a private party, and they want to do a show that features the congressional bunker below the Greenbrier and Congress, and make it a murder mystery. So I'm thinking,
oh, that'll be fun.
Okay, I don't have anything that matches that, so I guess I'm gonna have to write something. So I was busy writing something and creating something, and so I came up with a theme show. We presented it, and they loved it. They went nuts over it. It's called Project Murder, and it has historical context. It takes place in 1962 when the bunker was completed at the Greenbrier. For those of you who don't know about the bunker, it was President Eisenhower in 58 was concerned about the Russians, nuking, Washington, D.C. and killing off all the congressmen and senators and White House or House of Representative members. He said, we got to hide these people. We got to put them someplace where they're safe. If missiles are flying over the Atlantic Ocean, we got to put them someplace safe. So they wanted to find a secret place, and they got the Greenbrier. They built a bunker underneath this new West Wing, and they hid it from the public. They hid it from the employee. The Congress didn't know about it. So it's about it takes place in 1962 at the completion, and these congressional members, three senators, 3 House of Representatives, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, and they are all there in the briefing room in the bunker, and they get locked in. And they find they can't escape, and they're handed letters that tell them how terrible of a person, people they are. They all have scandalous past, and they're told that one of them has to kill one of the others within the hour, or deadly hydrogen cyanide gas will come out of the vents and kill them all. So now,
who killed who? That's what I want to know. This is hold on. Is this your murder?
This is a murder mystery. So it's something I created.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay. I was sitting here thinking, this is Hunger
and then
Games.
There's a Secret Service agent who's kind of like the detective character who has to kind of help solve who did it because somebody does get killed.
So into this. I'd be so into this.
The Greenbrier was like, "Oh my God, we love this!" And so now they're going to add this murder mystery onto these tours, the bunker tours that they do for the public, as an extended option every now and then if people want to buy that or go to that. So it's like, we're super psyched about that. That's so cool.
Oh, it is cool. This, and if you're not familiar, because it's in West Virginia. Beautiful place. It's absolutely beautiful. And I am a big, huge fan of Dorothy Draper.
Oh, yeah.
I love her. Like, that's my goal for my own, just like little small house here in Kentucky. She is my interior designer. If you have not had the opportunity just to go there, not just for I believe it's haunted. I do remote viewing. I've seen some things and some images. Can y'all still see this? You can't. But Dorothy Draper, this is some of, this is some, I didn't mean to hit that. This is like, she does like a lot of mixed matches, black and white, reds, pastels, floral, a lot of it. And they're magnificent. Around Christmas time, the whole place is absolutely beautiful, and it's unique. And she's done like, here's, she mixes stripes, and here's the florals. She's really popular with the palm leaf.
Tons of people have been there. Marilyn Monroe's been there.
Everyone.
Kennedy's have been there. Eisenhower's been there. Tons and tons of famous people. But I think the Queen of England's been there, or Prince Charles, or one of them. But thousands of famous people have been there. It's really very beautiful place.
Wow.
It's beautiful. And Marianne doesn't know this, but if you all watch reality TV, which I do, Vanderpump Rules. We're going to go back to Kentucky for a moment because this is West Virginia. I love George, you don't live far from me. You live in like Barbersville or Milton.
Yeah, I live 15 minutes away from you.
So we are in a prime location of all these haunted locations or all these really historical locations. So we got the Greenbrier in West Virginia, and then Kentucky Castle here. And this is just bits and pieces of what we have in our tri-state or tri-state, like not just a little area, but the whole state that we have access to. Anytime somebody says something to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I can be there in like 2 hours. If it's Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, 2 hours. So back to Kentucky Castle though, because you all had a really great opportunity, and I saw little bits and clips of this with Vanderpump Rules.
Yes,
that is on the Bravo channel, and there was 2. She's from Kentucky. Jax was one of. If you watch the reality show, but you all were hired to do the murder mystery event or something for her wedding, right?
Yes, we did. We did their wedding, and we were actually on Bravo TV for about a minute. They filmed the whole episode, our whole murder mystery that we did for them, and it was so cool. And they had a blast, and Brittany and Jack, they bought us shots afterwards, and it was so much fun. And every girl there was dressed to the nines. I mean, they're all like supermodels and wearing barely any clothes at all. And they're so funny. But it was really cool.
Laura said she saw it. She saw it. That was you all. I saw it too.
It was very short. We were only on for like a minute, which was so strange. I thought that they were going to show much more, but they had a blast. It was really a lot of fun. We did Bell's Bourbon and Belladonna.
That was it. That was what you did there.
That was the name of the show.
That was a good one. Yeah.
It's our second most popular murder mystery.
So, Marianne, I'm going to have you follow up here in a second, but I think this is the perfect time to show the video that's at least 10 years old because George has not changed since then. I'm going to play this video. I think it's 2 minutes. We're all going to be here, so we're all going to hear you react and everything, so don't think you're muted or anything. I'm bringing it up. There's the priest. That's not it. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Takes place on a train. Solving a mystery is no small feat for the actors that are involved in Murder and Merriment. At different locations around town, George R. Snider III gathers a group of local actors to partake in a live-action game of Clue.
We hope we can catch this. Murder's a tricky business, though. Everybody loves a good murder mystery. Everybody loves a good murder.
Snider says his most recent performance, entitled The Murdered Mistress, revolves around the death of a presidential hopefuls lover. The show, which takes place on a train car at Heritage Station, includes a cast of locals, Marshall students, and professors. They say portraying a character is a welcome escape.
It gets you out, interacting with other people in the community, and you get to see a lot of great actors in the area.
Snider's been acting and writing scripts for much of his adult life, and he encourages Marshall students and Huntington residents alike to come down, get involved, and try to solve his murder mysteries. He says that while many of the characters have motivation to kill the victim, in the end, the guilty party always comes forward. Jesse Schaefer, MU reporter.
Oh, that's great. I hadn't seen that for years and years and years. That's awesome.
I always have motivation to murder, so just letting you know.
That's great. That was great.
Marianne, do you have anything you want to ask George right now?
Yeah. Did you say that there was a situation with one of these where you did have some actual real paranormal activity happen?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'd love to hear about that.
Okay, so we have, we have 4 different murder mysteries that can apply to paranormal or have paranormal backgrounds and stories to them. Mm-hmm. 5 different ones. The one that we did one at an actual haunted location, a very haunted location, which is called Punderson Manor, which is part of the State Park Lodge system in Ohio. And it's in northern Ohio, Newberry Township. And it started out as a private home, and now it's a beautiful lodge sitting right on a man-made lake. And the place apparently is the west wing of the place is very, very haunted. There's tons and tons of stories about it. But so we did a show called The Inspector, INN capital SPECTRE.
Wasn't that the one I was supposed to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's about this haunted inn and how the owner invites these 8 famous paranormal experts to come and try to either debunk the ghost there or try to get rid of the ghost out of the inn. And so we spoof all these famous paranormal experts, people like, Grant Wilkins from, Ghost Hunters to the folks that are with the Conjuring, the Warrens.
Oh, the Warrens.
Mm-hmm. We've got Velma.
Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, Ghost Whisperer. We've got Velma from Scooby-Doo. So we've got the Ghostbuster, one of the Ghostbusters. So we have all these 8 people. And so we did it as a murder mystery weekend. And we gave the guests an opportunity to try to see if they were going to experience any type of paranormal event. So what I did was in the small library, which is on the 2nd floor in the west, which is supposed to be a very haunted room. So I went up there and I took a white sheet of paper, sat down the floor, and I took a red ball and set it down in the middle of the paper, turned off all the lights, and left the room. And so then we, yes, Lauren, Grant does live in Georgetown, Kentucky. You are correct. So, so then we left and we went back and we continued with the murder mystery. And so then there was a break in the action. And so we decided that we would go and check on the ball, see if the ball had moved at all. And so we went up. So I went up into the library and walked into the room, and the room was freezing cold. And the ball had moved across the room, and the lights were going on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. They were just flickering, just flashing like this.
Wow.
I was like, oh my God. So I called a bunch of the cast members, and they came upstairs and they witnessed everything that had happened. And it was really freaky. I mean, the hair on my arms was like standing up on edge. And I mean, it felt like you were in a meat locker. It was so cold in there. But I had never seen a lamp just going off and on like this, like it was doing. It was pretty cool.
I've been inside that place. I did a remote viewing of it. And George, I think I talked to you about this before you told me about the hanging. There was a room that I went in. I just visited this momentarily. I wasn't there very long. I didn't do an investigation there or anything, but I was in a room that had some paneling in it, is what I remember. This is probably back in 2018.
Yes. It's in the restaurant on the main floor, and they've got it's an octagon room. The octagon room.
Circular kind of, yes. And I've got this choking feeling there. There's a maid or servant or something there that kept telling me not to go in there. Warned me. I see her now to this day. And someone did. I feel like it's a male that hung themselves there.
Yes. They saw one of the people at the hotel saw the figure hanging in that room, and they left to go get one of the other kitchen people, and they came in and witnessed it. But
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
remember we talked about this.
We've met. My company, we have that's where we eat our breakfast whenever we're there. But we meet in that room. But that night, I put the ball in that room on the table, but. So I was hoping in the morning it would have been like moved, but one of the kitchen staff moved it that morning, or they took it out of the room, and I was like,
why do they do that? Why they do that? They always got some kind of staff. But anyway, if you're just tuning in, it's 9:33 p.m. here on Friday, July the 8th, and we have Mr. George R. Snider III, founder and owner of Murder and Merriment, murder mystery. We want more haunted locations, and we want to do paranormal events. That's what we want.
Well, we were at another one a few years ago. We were up in Warwick, New York, right above New York City.
Hold on, that's Silvio's, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said Sylvia. But before we move on, Marianne, I have a video. Actually, I think it's I always try to keep it 2 minutes or less of Punderson Haunting. If you have not heard of the place,
yeah, let's do it.
And this is an older video too, of some hauntings that happened. Ohio is amazing, though. I absolutely love Ohio. So much history, so much paranormal stuff, and it's all surrounded by water. Most of it, the whole state. I love Ohio. So let's play this really quickly. I think did it say it's 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So here Cleveland. It's east of Cleveland.
That's correct. Yes, Newberry Township.
I think it's east, right?
It is.
It was a dark and stormy night, the night we stayed at the Punderson Manor Hotel. Inside it was full of guests, living and perhaps otherwise.
Last week we had some guests who complained about party above them, keeping them up all night. The funny thing about it was there's no room above them.
Manager Patrick Zarni has never personally experienced the strange happenings, but knows that most of his employees have. Robert Vanderbilt spent 5 years researching Punderson and found it to be rich in close encounters.
There was a big hotel fire over there, and some children perished in the fire. And those supposedly are the ghost children that are seen in here.
Guests often complain of a woman laughing or children playing in the halls late at night, although none are registered. By far the best stories come from employees who are here nightly. Lights go on and off. Heavy doors swing open on their own. Footsteps, voices. Maids are so frightened they will only clean this room in pairs. As soon as they turn their backs after making the bedclothes are crumpled as though someone is sitting there. This used to be an employee lounge where one night clerk awoke from a nap to find a bearded man at the foot of the bed.
She just kicked at it, and her foot went right through it. Then the figure walked right through the wall.
A Civil War era woman has been sighted several times in the dining room. She's always startled to be found out and rushes out of the room or evaporates. One of the more frightening sightings happened in here. 3 employees working very late at night decided to go into the kitchen for some coffee. They never made it. They were stopped short by the sight of a man hanging. Parts of his body were still twitching. They sat down and they watched him for 3 hours until the light of dawn, when the image faded. The night crew we talked with say not a week goes by without an incident. Never harmful, just mischievous. They say it's just Pundy acting up. And they go on about their jobs, taking the spiritual guests as much in stride as the paying ones. Rebecca Shaw, Eyewitness News.
As the paying ones. Rebecca Shaw, Eyewitness News.
How?
I didn't even listen to that last 30 seconds when I found this video. I was like, okay, this is good enough.
What's also interesting is that there was Indians that lived on that land and were moved off of that land. And in fact, there was one of the people that either built Punderson or was involved in that saw a figure rising out of the lake and walking across the water and disappearing. They've also.
Have you ever watched that show on Netflix, The Haunting the Haunting of Hill House or the
Hill
House?
Yes.
Like they need to go to Punderson. Like season 2 was a bomb. Like it did not do well with me.
Agreed.
I think they still need to go with season 3. Tried to do season 3, and they need to go to Punderson.
Well, apparently there's also they found they were hearing noises underneath the staircase in the sealed wall, and they found out that they'd stored a bunch of old furniture and stuff, and apparently there was a rocking chair that they took that belonged to a man who had died there at Punderson, and somebody had taken that rocking chair and took it out and donated it to like another museum or someplace else. And the word I've heard is that if that rocking chair is ever returned back to Punderson, then that ghost will go away. But I don't know what.
That's really interesting.
That's it. Marianne, that's us. We got to go find the rocking chair and return it.
I'm game. I'm game.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Marianne needs to come to Kentucky anyway. So.
Yeah, that's on the to-do list. Hopefully soon. I'm in North Carolina.
I love North Carolina.
Marianne, you have family that's here in Ashland, right?
Okay. Biological roots, I wouldn't say family, because there's one side of my family that does not have anything to do with my life, so I don't. They never have.
That's their fault.
So
where in North Carolina are you, Marianne?
I am. Well, we kind of rotate. We have a place in the central part of the state. It's a farm, and then there's another small farm we have that's in the on the coast near Wilmington.
Because I'll be at Atlantic Beach next week.
Oh wow! Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Outer Banks. That's where I grew up at. Every summer we went
there. Love that place.
We do too.
How far is that from you, Marianne?
Atlantic Beach, maybe from here an hour and a half. It's not far.
Well, George, I'm just volunteering ourselves. I think Marianne and myself need to be part of Murder and Merriment.
Yes, that would be so fun. That would be so much fun.
You are continuing looking for actors, though, right?
We're always
in Ohio. What states?
We keep growing.
What states?
I would hire another 20 actors in every city that we have a location in, at least.
And what are those major cities?
Cincinnati, Lexington, West Virginia, and North Central Ohio. From
And
Columbus
they get
all the way
paid.
to Cleveland.
They get paid for their time.
Yes,
doing
they do.
The show.
And we get to go to really cool resorts like the Greenbrier and Punderson Manor, and fun
you did
places.
a castle too up in
The Kentucky
Ohio.
Castle.
Well, Kentucky Castle here, but there's that one place up in Ohio. I think haunted locations and Trans-Allegheny. I'm going to send this video to the Trans-Allegheny. You and I went there.
Yes, we need to be there.
I got something here. I meant to upload it before the show, but I didn't get to have
Trans-Allegheny. Bring us there. We'll come and do a murder mystery there for free. Your first one, and if it's really successful, then you can pay us. But we will come.
Really, the first one's free?
I will, just to get in there to show them, because they think that nobody will come. But we did an invitation. Oh,
you all are always sold out. That I don't understand that.
We posted a invite on our company page on Facebook, Murder and Merriment, and I said, how many people would come? There we are. I said, how many people would come?
I don't even know who that old lady is. I know I'm taller than her, though.
I said,
who is that old lady? I don't even know. Why did we even take that picture, George?
But I said, I said, how many people would pay to come to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia to come see a murder mystery there? And within 2 hours, over 150 people said, me.
Yeah.
Remember
this picture I took when we first rolled in? I said, that's calling our name.
The sky looked amazing. Yes. It was so cool.
That's in West Virginia, which is, if you're in Ashland, Kentucky, Barbersville, West Virginia, our little tri-state area here, that's about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 at the most away from us. And they keep this place absolutely phenomenal. Like, they really care about this location. It's not depleted like other places. They have working bathrooms. They have electricity. And honestly, from doing paranormal investigations for this many years, that's a rare find. And I love that the people that own this, or if there's a historical society behind it that has taken care of it so much. Weren't you impressed with the tour and everything, George?
Oh yeah. Do you remember the story about the crazy guy that was hanging the other guy, young, and the guy wouldn't die, so he hung him again and kept beating on him, and then he put a bed frame through his foot or something. I mean, he kept killing this guy over and over, and the guy wouldn't die. And finally, it was creepy.
This is a phenomenal place. Like, this is my number one location. I planned to do 2 things there over the last couple of years, but they fell through. So, George, Marianne, you need to come to Kentucky. We need to go with George, and we need to go up to Trans-Allegheny. We need to talk to the manager again.
And then 10 minutes back up the road, you can go to Stonewall Resort, where we perform all the time, and see a murder mystery. And have great
murder
dinner.
Mystery here, and then murder mystery at Stonewall, all in one weekend, and stay at Stonewall actually.
Yeah,
for the whole weekend.
And they have a winery that's called.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Laura would love to go there.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm going to send this video to Trans-Allegheny. We need to go back. We need to go back and just harass them. We need to be like Psycho ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. And just make an appearance,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the reputation we've got, if they don't know, I mean, we've performed in pretty much all the state parks in West Virginia.
You're
Kentucky,
sold out all the time. Every time I talk to you, though, I'm sold out.
Last night we had 200 people in Ashland, Kentucky. 200.
Well, I have another video. Actually, no, that's not it. I'm sorry, that's not it. I thought I had a video of you all sold out that it wouldn't upload. It's from TikTok.
Okay.
You have two people on TikTok. Let me see if I can upload it right now while you're all talking.
Several people on TikTok, but I haven't figured out TikTok
But
yet.
2 people. Oh, You need to. Marianne, I'm going to let you ask a question follow-up. I'm going to see if I can upload this. It wouldn't upload earlier when I was on here, but let me see if it will do it now. So I'll let you follow up with a question with George while I try to figure this out.
So have you had any other like paranormal experiences throughout your life?
Yeah. Throughout my life, yes. We did have another one with a murder mystery at a place called Silvio's in New York. Which is a haunted place in Warwick, just above New York City. And we actually got to, we were invited there by Ghost Hunts USA. And they put it on their TV show and everything and filmed it, which was super cool. And
so cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so there's a room upstairs. It's now an Italian restaurant. But the building, the restaurant there, the house, dates all the way back to like the Revolutionary War time. So it's really old. It's historical. It's beautiful. And we were there in the dead of winter, snowing. But they have a little room up there where apparently there's a little girl that haunts the place.
Aww.
Oh, look who it is. It's one of our company members, Michelle Fott. And so we were taking the group around in different rooms and stuff and trying to see if we could generate any activity. So we came down from upstairs, from the attic, and we were coming down the stairs. And so there was one girl, one of our company members behind me, Jane Maudlin, and myself.
Oh, I know her.
And I pretended like I was touched on the shoulder by a ghost. I just, my character, I was just kind of, pretending. It said, "Oh my gosh, why did you tap me on the shoulder?" And she looked at me and she goes, "I didn't tap you on the shoulder." I said, "Yeah, you did." She goes, "No, I didn't." And so that was just fake. But then she got tapped on the shoulder and she was the last one in the line. And she turned around and she went, "Oh my God, someone just tapped me on the shoulder." And it's like, whoa. So that was our extent of our paranormal experience there. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That's creepy.
There's an error. There's an error that keeps coming up on these videos, but this one uploaded actually. So there's one video that says on TikTok that you're all always sold out. Get the tickets early. It's a guy. It's a train.
Oh my gosh, we're on my old Kentucky dinner train. We're sold out like every 2 weeks on that train.
Yeah. So for some reason that video won't upload, but she uploads. So let's play this really quickly here.
Hey, I'm getting ready for some murder tonight at Houston Woods Lodge.
Oh, Houston Woods.
So cool.
That's a haunted place.
Nice rooms.
Put us up in these nice rooms.
And we have a full house. So it's going to be fun. So if you have a chance, come watch us. Murder and Merriment. Look us up. murderandmerriment.com.
Yeah, Houston Woods is supposedly haunted too.
Hey, I'm getting ready.
Okay, here it kept going in rotation, but y'all are always sold out. And the tickets aren't that bad.
The castle sold out. The castle sold out all the way through September right now. Every week.
So I have your website up because that's the most accurate place that they can find out. But you do have a Murder and Merriment on Facebook. So people
now we're going to be at a haunted. We're going to be at a haunted location tomorrow. The Glen Ferris Inn in West Virginia.
Hold on, tell me again. Sorry.
Glen Ferris, GlenFerris, Glen Ferris Inn, and it's right on at the Glen Ferris Falls in beautiful West Virginia. It's a gorgeous place. And there is several stories of haunted experiences.
Don't tell me anything. Let me see if I can remote view anything while we're talking about it.
But it's we're doing a show. We're not doing a haunted show, but we will eventually. But we're doing Bell's Bourbon and Belladonna there tomorrow.
Is that it?
But yeah. If you see Glen Ferris Inn in Glen Ferris,
here it is. That's it.
Yes,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it right now.
Yes, it's beautiful.
There's a guy already there that's already coming out. He plays with like a yo-yo or some kind of toy. Why? Holy smokes. He's on the second floor. I've never heard of this place. This guy's on the second floor.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's an old coal town. They're right on the river. And the falls, the cathedral falls are right there. It's worth going just to see the waterfalls, just right around the corner in the road. It's beautiful.
There's a guy there. I'm going to say guy because he looks older than 19. This really dropped out at me. I've never heard of this place. So if this comes out, if you hear something, George, tell me. Or if you already know this story, just let me know.
I don't know. I don't know the exact haunted stories of that place, but I do know that is haunted because I've actually stayed there overnight and I can't remember the stories off the top of my head, but it is a haunted place.
Well, it's not like evil or anything. This guy is very familiar with the home.
But they apparently have seen people upstairs, like on the balcony and things like that. And there's things that get moved around and noises in the rooms and so forth.
He's showing me a yo-yo. He's playing with a yo-yo.
Have you ever been to, there's a little inn, the Gratz Park Inn in Lexington. The Gratz Park Inn. And Marianne had asked me if I had ever had a paranormal experience.
Gratz?
It's right.
How do you spell that?
Gratz, Gratz Park Inn. And it was on the site of an old Civil War hospital.
Is this it?
But it's right in downtown Lexington.
Is that it?
I can't see. It's a small little boutique hotel. Yes, I think that's it.
Okay.
So.
Or is this it?
It's only. I don't know. That's not it. I think it's white. I don't think it's pink.
Hold on, let me look.
Gratz Park, Lexington.
In Lexington.
Yes. And so I was, got my room on the second floor, and left to go to dinner. Turned off all my lights. Left the room. Came back from dinner. There it is, right there.
Okay.
Came back from dinner, and went into my room, and the TV was turned up full blast in the room. And I was like, holy crap. So I knew that I didn't have the TV on. And so I called down the front desk and asked if anybody had been in my room, any of the mates, the concierge or the bellhops or, turned down. Nobody had been in my room at all. And so apparently someone had gone, I think a ghost had been in my room and had actually turned on the TV to have some fun and cranked it.
Is that what the entryway looks like?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's really pretty. It's a really nice place. Very pretty.
I love Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and Tennessee too, by the way. Amazing locations. North Carolina also. I don't know. I just start Pennsylvania too has some great places.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Well, that's great. It's Park Inn. Is that a hallway?
I can't see. It's too small, but yeah, Gratz Park Inn, Lexington. It's just it's a beautiful boutique hotel.
Is that it?
Looks familiar, but it is haunted.
It's beautiful though.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back to the other place. There's a number 5 and 6 that keeps popping up too, so I don't know what that means.
The guy with the yo-yo.
The Glen Ferrisman. I'll check tomorrow.
Yeah. 5, 6, 56, something like that. So, George.
Yes.
We got about 6 to 8 minutes left. Do you believe in ghosts?
Absolutely.
Really?
I had that experience at Punderson. I'm a firm believer.
And so Punderson was the main experience you had, and what was the other experience you had?
Well, the other experience was I didn't personally experience the tapping on the shoulder, but one of my company members at Silvio's did, and then the Gratz Park Inn experience.
Well, I know you sent me some Silvio's stuff beforehand, and I wasn't able to get to it. That's a restaurant. Where was that located? Warwick,
Warwick. The town is beautiful.
Whoa.
It's an old, historic, beautiful town in New York. It's a little tiny, small.
Oh, it's New York. Okay.
New York, yes. Right above New York City. It's an old historic town.
Oh, here it is on Broadway, right? Does that sound familiar?
No,
maybe?
it's Silvio's with an O.
Silvio's. Is that it?
SYLVIO.
That's Yonkers. Yonkers.
No,
Wasn't that a
it's
candy
Warwick.
back in the day?
Type in Warwick. Type in Silvio's Warwick,
Okay.
New York.
Holy smokes! It's a whole house.
Yeah, it's an old historical.
That's it.
From the
That
1700s.
reminds me of.
Now
That reminds me of a house, Malabar Farm in Ohio, which would be a great location for murder mystery. But is that it right here?
I don't see it, but if it's
You
Warwick,
don't see it?
no,
Hold
it's
on,
not.
let me refresh. Let me refresh. Here we go. I'm refreshing. Do you see it now?
No.
Why is this doing this? Do it one more time here. Refresh.
There it is. Yes,
there we go.
That's it.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
Good Italian food.
So what happened there again?
So, woman died. They blamed it on her brother, and the brother said he didn't do it, but
he didn't do it.
In 1972, he killed himself. But there's other news or other stories of death there. It's old historic from the 1700s, Revolutionary War era.
Wow, that's how old that building
Marianne,
is.
do you feel anything from this place?
It was really cool. Ghost Hunts USA routinely puts it on their visitation place.
Yeah, I do. So you said this place is from the 1700s? Wow.
It's deep rooted in family generational. It's generational, definitely, but it wasn't. Whoever killed the girl, that's not the person who did it, but it was a brother, and I'm saying
the brother killed himself. Yeah, he was accused of killing his sister.
It's a brother-in-law that.
A brother-in-law. Okay.
Oh wow! Why am I doing this? I'm cutting myself off. I don't want to go to this.
There's a place in Illinois that I would love to go to, and I haven't been, but it's the home of the brewer, the brewing, the beer distributor place. And they had a mega empire in Illinois, and then when Prohibition came, their business just kind of dried up. But I mean, he killed his wife, and there's several murders that occur in that place. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'll have to look that up. I don't know it.
I'll have to find the story on it.
Marianne, do you know?
It's a very, very famous place. It's almost people can stay there overnight, but it's almost as famous as the Lizzie Borden house.
Really? I don't. Maybe if you said the name, I would recognize it.
I'll have to do some research and find it. But I've always wanted to go there.
Well, I want to play a little video. Well, I want to actually pull up your website first, and I want to play a video. We might go a little bit over 10 minutes tonight because we did start 8 minutes late. So let me pull up, because you write everything for Murder and Merriment. You're super gifted and talented. And Clue, when I think of murder mystery, I think of Clue, the Clue game.
Okay.
Because that's what I grew up on. And it's always fascinated me. It was like Claire in the kitchen with the candlestick. But you have tons of different avenues or different writings from different perspectives, not just paranormal. Obviously, our show, we're talking about a lot of paranormal.
Yeah, we have one other one. One other one about the which takes place in 1941 in the home of the Jean Harlow home. And if you're familiar with who Jean Harlow was, it's called The Haunting Party. But Jean Harlow is, of course, the blonde Hollywood bombshell of the 30s who married the much, much older man that worked at MGM. His name was Paul Byrne. And they were married. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think what year. I think it was 31 or 33, 32, somewhere in that vicinity. But he was unable to consummate the marriage. She was humiliated. She ran off to her mother's after a terrible night one night. And he took off all his clothes, doused himself in her perfume, stood in her all white bedroom, took a 38 and blew his brains out. Now,
that's a true story.
This is a true story. This is a very true story. And so the Jean Harlow home.
Taco Heaven. Hold on, I'm sorry. I just saw Taco Heaven here.
The Jean Harlow home in Hollywood is supposed to be very, very haunted. So they brought in Louis B. Mayer and studio heads Irving Thalberg and Whitey Hendry to came in to the house before the police were called. And an hour later, Louis B. Mayer found a suicide note claiming that the husband had killed himself. Then they called the police. The police never charged the wife or even really interrogated her or considered her to be a suspect. But they found out within a matter of a few days that he had a second wife, a woman, who was a common law wife. She was a struggling actress who had been in and out of
Is that the Black Dahlia?
In and out of a crazy home. She'd been a sanitarian, but he brought her to California and put her up in a hotel, I think in San Francisco. But the very next morning after the murder, after his death, Paul Byrne's death, she boarded a steamer boat on the Sacramento River, took off her shoes and her coat, folded them up, put them at the railing, and jumped to her death. This is before it hit the papers. She killed herself. And so then they found that, the police still said it was a suicide, but the gardener came forward and said, no, I don't think so, because the day of the murder, when Jean Harlow was gone, there was another woman that was at the pool that she had left her bikini top along with her lipstick on a drink glass, and he had heard a car speed away from the house.
It's always a lipstick on the glass.
And so,
cheers, anybody watching?
And one of the cooks said that was not his handwriting on the suicide note. So there's always a question of whether or not there was a murder, but the ghost of Paul Byrne supposedly haunts that place. And so we built a story, a murder mystery around that, based on a Hollywood horror film director, Victor Marshall, who lives in that home with his wife, and his wife feels like she's being haunted by the ghost of Paul Byrne. And so
wow,
it's a pretty cool story. That's
you got so many choices here. How many choices how many have you written?
58.
Yeah, there's so much. So if you're a haunted location or any location right now, you own someplace, please reach out to George. Their team and everything, the Ghost of the Valley Gym, like, they are phenomenal, super gifted and talented, everyone. This is awesome. And this is going into the next video I want to play. I didn't tell you about it. I didn't tell you about any of the videos.
No, you did not.
But George sings a little bit. He would be a good. And this is one of your best friends, Lee Dean.
Yeah. That's an old video too.
It's not even us at our best. I went old all night.
Oh gosh.
But Lee Dean, I know his brother. I worked with his brother.
Jared.
So yes, I've worked with him for a couple years in jewelry sales. But I want to play this. I don't think it's very long. It's not even telling me how long it is, but here we go. This is Mr. George.
This is like
Snider,
3 years ago.
The third. That's not that long though. 2 minutes. Here we go. Always try to keep it at 2 minutes. The rat on the side.
Luck be a lady tonight. Be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck let a gentleman see just how nice.
So just how risky George?
What's that?
She can be really nice sometimes, see? I know the way it's treated. Other guys we've been with. Hey, other guys be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair. No, it isn't. And it isn't nice. Oh, not at all. You know what else, Dean? A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's style. That's not very nice. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Hey, look, be a lady. Look, be a lady. Bring it on home. Bring it on home. Look, be a lady.
That's awesome. I feel like jazz hands or something.
Yeah. Oh gosh, and we're so much. That was our very first show that we ever did together, and we're like 10 times even better than that nowadays. So
that's great.
Well, I loved it when I saw that. I found that video. So that you guys are super talented, even singing and everything. And I appreciate your friendship so much, George.
Thank
really
you. Appreciate
through
you all.
the years. And we're getting ready to close out or anything, but I want Marianne, if she has any other questions or anything, because I know I talk a lot.
I appreciate. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, Marianne. I'm sorry.
I just
No,
appreciate you being on here with us, and I definitely want to come and do some of these. Emily, we've got to make this trip together.
You gotta do it, George.
Murderandmerriment.com. Murderandmerriment.com.
Here, and I also have your phone number. I was like, book Murder and Merriment. It's 304-634-8581. If you're a haunted location, I'm telling you right now, this is one of the best things that you could do, honestly. And it will sell out.
Good mystery.
Yes.
They really do.
That's the truth. That is the truth. They love a good mystery, and you're super talented. You have so many things to pick from, and you do have haunted screenplays or whatever to pick from.
Actually did write a haunted screen. I do have a actual screenplay movie script. That is a scary movie, but haunted B&B.
But I've stayed in some of those haunted
B&Bs.
I've stayed in some pretty. When I get a B&B, I try to see if it's a haunted location. I've stayed in one that was actually had poltergeist activity. Ooh. That is the first time I've ever experienced it, and it's it's in Louisville, Kentucky, the Palace Theater in Louisvle. Maybe we could do a murder mystery at the Palace Theater, and then everybody go to their B&Bs and see who gets lucky. In a haunted.
No, we did do one at the Paramount in Ashland.
Yeah, it's haunted.
Because that's haunted.
And Nick Groff, I met Nick Groff at the Paramount Theater here. It was after my appendix was removed. So I don't know. They did film me. I was super sore. I don't think he's going to use it, but it's for Ghost Walker or Night Walker or something. This new show is coming out. The Paramount. It's haunted. I had experience when I was 16.
Paramount Joe.
Paramount Joe. So, but anyway, I want to say, George, thank you so much for coming on. Please look up murderandmerriment.com for all. You're sold out, but all of your events there is up to date. You also have a Facebook page, Murder and Merriment. Look them up there. You're also on Instagram.
Yes, we are.
You need a TikTok. With little clips.
I don't even know how to do TikTok.
Well, you need little clips of TikTok on there.
Probably.
So I can share it out. And we appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. I say the number one murder mystery company this side of the Mississippi, because that's what you say. right?
You're number 2,
Okay.
but I'll take. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I'll take
we like to
number
think
1.
we like to think that we are the finest, but if we're number 2 in just 12 years, and coming out of West Virginia, Kentucky, I'll take it every day of the week.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for coming on. We got to have you come
Marianne.
back
It's a pleasure
on.
to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
too,
Marianne.
Emily, thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be back here next week, Friday. I don't know what the date is. Don't ask me to even add it up.
It's
with
the
John
15th.
Bullard. Okay, the 15th with John Bullard. If you watch the documentary, The House in Between Part 1, there's Part 2 that comes out. This is with Steve Gonzalez and everything, which Steve helped with Part 1. But please watch that this week coming up. It's on Amazon, any kind of streaming outlet. We're going to have John Bullard on next week to talk about The House in Between, paranormal experience, their documentary and everything. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. Thank you so much. We love you. Appreciate you. Please share this out, and we'll see you again next time.